We live.
We live? Alright, perfect. Give me a good sync point. Alright, perfect. Man, what's going on, fellas? How y'all doing?
What up, brother? How you feeling?
What's going on?
Man, pretty good. Cannot complain. So, I want to welcome everybody to the Real Spill podcast, brought to you by Aclivis 21st Century Trades and Training and Urban Prescriptives. Want to thank X for putting this all together, Xavier. So, man, let's start. Everybody introduce themselves. Let's start with Ian. Let's go.
I'm Jalen.
Jalen?
Kevin.
Lorenzo.
Alright, and I'm Bravo. So, so we got some good topics, man. Got some things we want to go over, talk about you guys, talk about what's going on, life, community, just talk about, just everything. Have a good time. So, I'm gonna kick off with the first question, because we all Chicagoans, and one of the things that I know is that Chicago is a mood, it's a vibe, it's a whole way of life, and so everywhere you go, everybody always either they got a great experience by Chicago people or a bad one, but a lot of times from my experience it's been real good. We have a vibe, and so we want to talk about some of that. We're going to talk about those things. So first question that came up, what are your thoughts on mental health in the black community? And I'll help you out with this. So give me your thoughts.
I feel like mental health is like a state right now. It's kind of like bad.
No, you good. You need to talk to it.
I feel like it's kind of bad.
Mm-hmm.
Like you see how it's going right now, all the killing and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
People probably feel like, I don't know, probably feel like bad about themselves, all other type of stuff like related to their homes and family and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like that can have like an effect on the mental health to the youth and to the older people.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's what I feel like about mental health.
What about you, Gail?
My opinion on mental health, I feel like it's a real big issue with the youth. I feel like a lot of people don't pay attention. They feel like it's not that important. They feel like it's just something you could just brush or past, and I feel like we need to focus a little more on that to overall better how we moving through life.
Jesus?
Yeah, my thoughts on mental health is like I feel like it's important to work on that, cause like if you don't got your mind right, then it's gonna stop you from doing a lot of stuff you want to get done in life and stuff.
Okay, so interesting. So when we were shorties, mental health wasn't even a word. You know what I mean? For real. Like it wasn't anything that it wasn't a conversation. It was just like, get yourself together, you know what I mean? Man, boy, stop crying. You know what I mean? Like it was a big thing, be strong, right? It was just this like, and not to say it was a deliberate like brush over or just push it like over the edge, but it wasn't a topic of conversation. And I think it's kind of funny when Juice WRLD first dropped, R.I.P. Juice, and you start hearing them talk about certain things, and then you start seeing all of the other kids like, yeah,
Just flocking.
yeah, right, everybody flocking to him, and then it was kind of like, oh, got it. A lot more people are dealing with this stuff than we kind of really talk about, or it hasn't been a topic of conversation. And so even when fast forward a little bit, we'll go back a little bit, when they did the tribute concert for him recently, a couple months back over at the United Center, and his mom had got on stage and was talking about it. She was like, man, she's like the biggest thing, because like the same thing as like, just listening to a kid making music. She was saying the impact that he had on mental health awareness. Like them same things, him, guys like Mac Miller. So it's funny, it is interesting to really hear you guys speak about it, because you guys have, I think, even more so than myself and our generation, you guys have more of a connection to it. I think for us, I hate to say it like this, it's been buried for so long underneath, to a point where you just almost like, a lot of people have had to just live with the trauma
That's how we was taught shit.
Yeah, right. You just like being taught wrong, where it's like you just live with the trauma, and it's kind of funny because now you hear it in the music where everybody's talking about their mental health, you know. And I think, correct me if I'm wrong, I think also that's part of the reason why the drug culture is getting pushed so much further because people are, again, traumas.
Yeah.
The traumas. How do you deal with the traumas? And the number one way that's been, unfortunately taught in our community sometimes is self-medication. So people are kind of like flocking to it through that way. I don't know. Give me your thoughts.
No, I 100% agree with that. Like, we use drugs as a form of feeling better about certain situations, or not to focus on them so much, because it's a lot going on. I do agree with that 100%.
And you guys?
Yeah, I agree with that too, because like from I say me personally, I feel like smoking and doing drugs, like it helps my mental, like calms me down or tolerate a lot of stuff going on through life.
Yeah, because we do, I think with the fairness, we do sometimes as a community hold a lot of I guess, some people call it macho bravada. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like, when one of the guys passes something, it's kind of like, okay, you got a moment to cry, but then after that, it's over with. You know what I mean? Like, yo, we can't see you crying no more, and it becomes almost the opposite, where it's like, yo, man, I'm really dealing with this, and we don't get a chance to sometimes really fully grieve and get those things out. Okay, next one. This is a good question too. Got some good questions today, and I definitely look forward to you got your questions. How as an individual can you make your neighborhood better?
That's a hard one, cause like, some people, like, I don't know.
Hold on. I got you. Hold on.
I mean, I feel like something you can do is like clean up the community, like, cause not too many people gonna really listen to you in your neighborhood. Like, they gonna still do what they want to do. So if it's something for you to do individually, just clean up your neighborhood and stuff.
Elaborate on that when you say that people gonna kind of do what they're gonna do.
Yeah, cause like you can tell somebody like this the right thing to do this, or this what you should be doing, but that don't mean they gonna always listen to what you got to say. Like, they gonna still go off of what they already was taught, or like just off their own mindset.
Yeah. You gonna say something?
Yeah, like that you just said, because at the end of the day, they gonna look at you, no matter what you say, you like a stranger to them. So your word go either way to their like personal thinking. So it's like, I don't know, it's like take like the right person to come through and stuff, like real do something. Like, some people gotta want it in order for it to like make an impact, but some people ain't got it like that.
Yeah, I agree with what bro just said. Like if it got to be the right person to come around, because a lot of people, they go through a lot of stuff. So you try to tell somebody something to stop doing something that they knew their whole life, to go do something that they don't know nothing about. You got to think about it like, nah, that ain't, you feel me? It ain't always the easiest route for somebody to take, And a lot of people like going the easy routes. They don't like dealing with all that hard shit.
I guess. Let me ask you this: a question within a question, right? So, you want to make your neighborhood better. I guess the first question is: do people even really care about these neighborhoods they stay in?
Not all of them. Like,
nah, man.
There's some people who like in my neighborhood, it's a lady who be going outside and clean up every day. Like, she be out there cleaning up the community and stuff. Like, not everybody gonna do that. Like, everybody ain't got that mindset to just go out there and want their community to look better for the outside world. Right.
And so it's kind of funny, because I think that for a minute, another thing that I give you guys credit for as a generation as a whole, I have seen pride come back to some neighborhoods. Regardless of what it is, you kind of see people talking about, yo, I'm from this, I'm from that. You know what I mean? People really standing up for it. And even to the point, because someone had asked me before from out of town, was like, man, like, how do you feel, about people, coming in to come visit O Block? And I'm like, well, I mean, people used to come here all the time to go visit the gardens. You know, they used to come from out of town to come visit Cabrini Green. So it's always been this whole, you know, a lot of culture behind it, and people like, man, I want, you know, people come out of town, man, take me to the Greens. And I'm like, bro, you come to Chicago, and that's where you want to go. You know, you want to go to the Greens, but again, the stories and people, you know, again, Chicago people, we travel, we go everywhere, and people are like, where you from? I'm from the Taylors, I'm from the Greens, I'm from the Gardens. So we've always had this pride, you know, about our communities and everything, and you know, sometimes, you know, of course, you can't control every aspect of what goes on, but I think that it kind of goes back to, like you were saying, there's a lady in the neighborhood and she cares, you know what I mean, and then, but I think I think this what happens, you know, now she might be 60, 70 years old out there cleaning up, but it's nobody out there 16 or 18 or 21 cleaning up with her, you see, and then so